Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binaries of all ages, welcome to the show. If you're here to learn character creation, you're in the wrong place because we're doing cat creation. This is how to make a literal cat in your favorite RPG. I co-host this show. My name's Joel Holland.
I also co-host this show, and my name is Austin Irwin.
There is not a third co-host.
No, not this week. Well, there's never been a third co-host, but usually, a lot of the time, we'll have a guest on, and that is also not happening this week. I'm sorry.
No, we couldn't pull that one off. Not in time, anyway.
No,
but,
if only.
But that's okay. We did manage to get, 3 guests for the entirety of anime summer season, so that'll have to do.
That's pretty good.
I think so.
There's a lot of people out there that like anime, but there's not a lot of people out there willing to admit that they like anime.
I don't know. It's becoming more popular ever since, what was his name? I'm kidding. It's not his fault, but, man, what's the actor's name who was, he was in Black Panther, and then, he went online talking about his favorite anime, and then suddenly, everyone was talking about their favorite anime.
Are you talking about,
Michael B. Jordan, that's his name.
Michael B. Jordan. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's a fan. He's an anime fan,
Yeah. I mean, good for him. Good for him.
I have a coworker that I work with. He's a cool guy, and he, the main thing he does, I believe, is watch anime. So this dude will come to me, every day, and if I literally just told him about the podcast, so you know who you are if you're listening. I love it, okay? I love hearing about your recommendations, because this man has, a full list of, probably 10 anime per day where he's, that are new. Almost always they're new. And he's like, man, I was checking this one out. It's really good. He'll give me, a synopsis and, a rating. He'll be like, if you have time, you might want to check this one out, but you should really put this one, at the top of your list. He'll give me... his rankings and everything. We'll just sit there and shoot the shit about, new anime coming out or, older anime and stuff. Versus everybody else that I know at my job that likes anime, likes it, I'll say a respectable amount, to the point where they watch, a handful, no more than 5. And then everybody else there either has heard of anime or has absolutely no fucking clue what it is.
Speaking of anime, everyone, as far as I know, this is, I think, the first episode we've recorded since the writer and actor double feature strike has begun.
Oh, true.
So, I know a lot of people are worried about not getting new shows for a while, but you know what that means? It just means that it's the perfect time to start watching One Piece.
I'm never gonna watch One Piece. I hate to tell you.
He's gonna watch One Piece.
No. Funny enough, that same guy at my work, though, he is caught up on One Piece. He loves it. And hats off to him. I could not even imagine. I can barely sit through, a couple episodes of a show I've never seen, and, I have to gain interest in. I couldn't imagine maintaining that interest for 1,000 episodes.
Oh, it has its ups and downs.
Oh.
It doesn't even get good until episode 21, I want to say. But I mean, Black Clover didn't get good until episode 21 either, so what are you going to do?
Interesting. I'm watching Bleach right now for the first time, and I gotta admit, Bleach has been pretty good from the start. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm a Bleach enjoyer. I'm on episode, 68 right now, and I guess I'm, a third of the way through it. Not even, actually. I think I'm,
yeah, not even.
I calculated it, and I think it said I was just below 16% of the way done. There's a lot of Bleach out there.
Yeah, and they're making more right now.
I know. I'm really excited to get 2000 Year Blood War, but it's gonna take me a minute. I'm gonna be so far behind.
They're gonna complete the entire arc by the time he gets to the first season.
No, you know what, Joel? You're exactly right, actually. I cannot stress that enough. But Bleach is an old anime, but I want to talk about new anime for a second, and I think it's an epidemic that is sweeping the anime nation, and it's something we like to call isekais. There's so many of them, So many isekais. You know what? Let's see. Isekai animes. All right,
He's googling it.
Oh my god! There's about 6 up here, and then there's a drop down menu, and the drop down menu is so much bigger than I expected it to be. All right, let's see. So we have.
Please don't read all of them off.
I'm not gonna read all of them. I'll read the ones that I've heard of and or know. Let's see. Okay, first of all, Bofuri and Sword Art Online. I don't think do they classify as animes or isekais? The people don't get killed to go into this other world. They're playing a video game.
Well, you don't have to die to go to the other world. You just have to be summoned there.
It just has to be okay. All right, cool. Hold on. Inuyasha is an isekai.
Yeah, she falls down a well. Go to the past.
I've never seen Inuyasha. Or Inuyasha. I didn't know. Let's see. Rising the Shield Hero. That's okay. We got No Game, No Life. I've heard of that. Overlord, The Eminence and Shadow. There's like 50 just on this list I'm looking at right now.
I see Iruma-kun on there, and I guess it counts.
Yeah. Let's see. Devil Part-Timer. Mashoko Tensai. That's one I've heard about recently.
No. Devil is a Part-Timer is not an isekai. That's the demon lord working at a McDonald's.
But he gets put into our world.
He could go there anyway. He could go anytime he wants. It doesn't count.
Well, it's on Google's list. What was the other one? Uncle from Another World. I guess counts because he went to another world and then he's coming back. Is like the whole premise, but he like keeps all of his powers or whatnot.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot on here. This one, there is one on here that I want to talk about because it's relevant to. This is my incredibly long segue. There's one on here called Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. And now I've never seen it. We've talked about Konosuba before.
It's got its own RPG. We'll have to do it at some point.
That's right. It does have its own. But there's a reason I'm talking about isekai in specifics today, because we are finally getting to a game that I've been excited to look at for about 2 months now, 2 or 3 months. Do you mind if I introduce the game, Joel?
Be my guest.
So this game is called This World Summons Too Many Heroes. It is an isekai tabletop game by Nick Duff. So we're going to be making a cat that gets isekai'd.
Yeah, technically our second one this season.
Is this our second cat that gets isekai'd?
Yeah, we made an isekai cat for Pokeroll, remember?
Oh, right. Man, you can't expect me to remember that. That was like 5 years ago.
It was last month.
I know it was. I can't remember anything. My brain is terrible.
Understandable.
What'd you say?
I said understandable.
Oh. Okay. But yeah, that's the game we're looking at today. I'm excited. Joel, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, I think.
This rulebook is honestly pretty short, so
yeah.
I think it'd be a really quick look over.
We could have easily done this next episode, but I'm glad we did it this time because we get to dedicate time to it, and we won't be able to dedicate time to the lightning round games.
Yeah, no. We'd have to.
We gotta just blow through them. We gotta blow through them. We gotta get through as many as we can, and like I've got way too many games for us to actually do, so I think I'm gonna do it by like spoiler alert for next episode. I'm gonna give us like a 90-minute timer after we read off the cat creation rules for the podcast, and then once we hit the end of that 90-minute period, we're done. Whatever character sheet we're working on, if it's not done, we throw it out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that cat gets sent to oblivion.
Yeah, come back next episode for our Shadow Realm cat.
Yeah. Actually, we might just finish it. Who knows? Who cares? It depends on how tired we are. That's fair, yeah.
But speaking of reading the rules, do we wanna jump into it?
Yeah, we should read those rules off real quick. Allow me to begin here with rule number 1. We accept no cop-outs. we are making a cat. That's the exact animal that comes to mind when I say the word. No anthropomorphic races, no people turned into cats, no lions, tigers, or any other cop-out you can imagine. Heck, there's a cop-out I found in one of the character archetypes. We'll get to that later, I guess.
Gotcha. Rule number 2 is we cannot use homebrew or house rules, rather. If the rules in the rule book do not explicitly allow something to happen, we count it as a rule broken. And if it's rules as written versus rules as intended, we go with whichever one tells us no. Can't do that.
Yeah. Rule number 3, if the game includes stats for a literal cat, those must be used or adapted to the game's character sheets. This game is based on Lumen, and I don't know Lumen very well, but I would be very surprised to learn there's a cat stat block for it. So I think we're good.
Rule number 4 is the character, class, background, playbook, job, what have you, has to exist in the game's core rules or as part of an official expansion. I do not believe this has an official expansion.
Oh, it has expansions.
Does?
Yeah, but
I'm assuming we're not looking at it. Usually we don't look at the official expansions, but if we ever come across something that's really cool...
There's a few games, like Hardwired Island, there's literally an expansion called Cat, so... Then again, the last time we had a game that had a literal cat expansion, we didn't buy it either, so...
Yeah, fair.
I think we legally have to buy cat-themed expansions moving forward in order to do the episode.
Yeah, legally, I think we're required to. That's in our contract, actually.
Yeah, we should add it to the rule. No, I'm just kidding.
To finish off rule number 4, we cannot use homebrew classes either. Homebrew doesn't exist.
Yep.
Tell your GM that when they're making you face a really ridiculously unbalanced monster.
Yeah, no trolls with, what is it, the Band of Fire Resistance. That's OP. We're on rule 5, right?
Correct.
The cat can learn any skill available to its class, even if it's not something a cat could normally be trained to do. So, I don't know how that applies to this game quite yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Rule number 6 is if a tool would be physically impossible for a literal cat to use, even if comically downsized for them, they cannot use it. So we're talking deep sea scuba gear. We're talking like welding gear. They're not qualified for that. Forklifts, same thing. They don't get forklift certified.
Let's be honest though, even if you could train a cat to use deep sea scuba gear, they wouldn't.
I mean, yeah. That's why you just don't see any cats, at those scuba lessons that you're going to.
Right.
They hate it over there.
They really do. It's a real problem in the cat scuba community.
Yeah. Do you think a cat could ride a bicycle?
No, not a regular bicycle. Maybe if you make the cat bicycle. I don't know how you would make the cat bicycle, but then again, we never really worked out the logistics of the cat gun, so who cares?
Yeah. Lots of photoshopped images here for cats riding a bicycle, but no actual, I think, real images. This guy can't even reach the pedals. Okay, yeah. So we'll add bicycles to that list for now until somebody sends a video of their cat riding a bicycle to our fucking inbox. Then I'll eat my words. I'll print them out on a piece of paper and eat them.
Let's see. If a character sheet has a section that is meant to be filled out in collaboration with the whole table, we leave it blank so players can make it fit the group they're playing with.
And finally, Rule 8. We have to keep track of every rule that we break.
Yep.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the character creation rules. So, that starts on page 5 if you're not there yet. So, characters have 3 core attributes that determine the starting size of each dice pool. Might represents the character's raw power level. In combat, you could use might to break through an opponent's armor, shoot a massive fireball, or deliver a brutal finishing blow. Outside of combat, you could use it to break through a wall or intimidate someone into doing what you want. Mastery represents the character's finer technique. In combat, you could use mastery to fire a carefully aimed shot, control the battlefield with magic, or put a planned strategy into action. I'm reading too fast for my own good. And then mischief.
Don't worry, Joel. The words will still be there by the time you finish the sentence.
You don't know that.
But I do. I see them.
Anyway, Mischief represents the character's trickery and stealth. In combat, you could use Mischief to ambush an opponent, provoke an enemy into doing something stupid, or weave through the battlefield unharmed. Outside of combat, you could use Mischief to tell a convincing lie or play an elaborate prank. And then each player starts with 7 points to be distributed between these 3 attributes. For a balanced character, you might go with 3-2-2. For a more specialized character, you mastery go with 5-2-0. Just ignore that. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
I got it because I can see the words on the page. But it was good for me. I don't think they'll get it.
Well, maybe if you're reading along at home, you'll understand the humor that I just did there. It was funny to Austin, and that's all that matters to me. And then by default, all characters have 8 HP and 6 SP. Sounds good. I mean, you don't have to. They're just checkboxes.
Guess I should have given it a tougher look.
It says step 1 for us is to choose an archetype. And those archetypes are the hero, the demon lord, the experiment, the reincarnated, the myth, and the bystander. 2 of these I think are pretty funny options. One of them I don't think we can do.
Okay. Which is the one that you don't think we can do?
Reincarnated. Like, before I said there was a one that just seemed like a cop-out, it's the reincarnated.
Oh.
The reincarnated was intercepted by a summoning spell at the exact moment of their death, and with only a free soul floating around, had to have a new body created from magic. Unfortunately, summoning scrolls aren't good at human bodies, so you have something else.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty cop-out.
Also, this kind of gives us a rule as intended here that we are supposed to be playing as a human, or have a human soul. So, rule number 1 broken. Yeah.
Already.
Not playing a human.
Okay. Well, do we want to just read through the other ones?
Yeah, sure. If you want my recommendations, though, we should go with either the Demon Lord or the Bystander.
Okay, let's check those out then. The Demon Lord was summoned by an ambitious group of evildoers looking for a dark messiah to lead them. Maybe you've been playing along with it, or maybe you gave them the slip the first chance you got. Either way, you've decided that dealing with the summoning crisis takes priority over world domination.
And to be clear, we're playing in a fantasy land where way too many people are just getting isekai'd because there's summoning scrolls all over the place, and people activate them willy-nilly.
It's like common loot for some reason, and they can't fix the drop rates. And then, what was the second one you said?
The Bystander.
Okay. The Bystander wasn't supposed to be brought here at all. Maybe you were standing too close to someone else as they were being summoned, or were hit by a truck and woke up dumped in the middle of nowhere with no goal or prophecy to fulfill. You've been forced to make your own way in the world. Yeah, so accidental isekai. Also, Truck-kun does make an appearance in the book, so
Yep.
I was waiting for that one.
Yep, he was mentioned. But like the Demon Lord, I think could be interesting because like it makes me think of this like show that I never watched, but I heard the premise of, called like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and like it was just 2 people who summoned a regular guy, and the summoning process gave him the Demon Lord's powers.
Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool. Funny enough, I don't think we could do the myth either.
What's the myth?
The myth is actually 2 people.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of seems like a cop-out. Like, oh yeah, we're a cat in body, but we've got the spirit of the great dragon living within us.
They both like to play with yarn, actually.
Yeah.
I think the Demon Lord, as per usual, is the funniest option, so I'm more inclined to go with it.
Alright. Are there any others you wanna...
I don't know.
What's it?
The hero, that's to the chosen one for me. The experiment sounds interesting, but I don't think it sounds as cool as either the Bystander or the Demon Lord. I just like the idea of these people summoning this Demon Lord and then standing before them is just a cat.
Yep.
They're like, it could go either one of two ways in my mind. The first one, obviously, being why is there a cat on the blood sacrifice pedestal, and the other one being like, ah, yes, the look of true evil, a cat's demonic eyes, ready to claw anyone in their path. Just someone who's like super into it.
Yeah.
Like, I knew this. I waited for this moment.
Real possibilities.
What do you think, Joel?
I I like the Demon Lord if you do.
Alright.
So then step 2. Wait, no. First we choose one of the options here.
Oh, right.
We get a perk. And the perks are Monster Horde. You have a group of 3 humanoid monsters that follow you around and obey your commands, however chaotically. Choose stat blocks for them from the enemies section or create them with your GM.
Okay.
So I'm guessing there's an enemies section closer to the end of the books.
Yeah.
Enemies. Here we go. Pages 36 and 37.
Warrior.
So Orc Warrior, a skeleton, partner for reincarnated. Okay, so we can't take that one. A Kingdom of Soldiers, Slime, Invisible Stalker. That's not humanoid. So we could make our own, probably.
Yeah. Enchanted armor would be funny. Just these empty husks of armor following this cat around.
No. Okay, we don't have the stat block for this here. So if we're just going off what we were given, then we can't do this. And I don't really want to spend the time to... Well, okay, I'll put a pin in this because the character creation is pretty quick. So if we really want to, we could probably figure out how to make our own enemy. But I had the thought all of a sudden of what if we just had like an army of Catgirls? Like a Catgirl race? And that summoned a literal cat as their demon lord.
I like it. I like the idea. Like where your head's at. Yeah, we'll put a pin in. We'll think about it. We do have a second option though.
Yeah, the other option is you have a demonic assistant who manages your day-to-day affairs back at your lair. You can phone them telepathically for encyclopedic knowledge about world history, geopolitical alliances, and other exposition as needed.
Incredible. That is your own personal line to the GM to be like, hey, what's up?
And since we have no like actual specification on like what they're supposed to look like other than demonic assistant, we could still go with Catgirl Demon.
We could.
So our class options, I think, let's put a pin in that for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. Our class options are Vampire, Necromancer, and Black Knight, if we're going to play the Demon Lord.
Vampire, Necromancer, or Black Knight is... We can look at these down here, can't we?
Yeah, so let's see. Black Knight is listed first alphabetically. A soldier who taps into the dark forces of the world to augment their terrifying strength. Many are found serving demon lords or are demon lords themselves, but Ronin Black Knights are known to serve wealthy merchants and criminal organizations. So we can either have a small melee and shield or a large melee weapon. Our basic abilities are Death Drain or Shadow Armor. When you kill an enemy with a melee weapon and before a drop is rolled, you can choose for it to be an SP drop and take it for yourself. Or, when you are dealt damage, you can spend 1 SP to reduce that incoming damage to 1.
And then we get 3 abilities. So our might...
We get... I kind of read ahead on character creation a bit. We get 1 ability based on our highest stat, which I don't think we've decided on yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we can decide our highest stat based on the abilities, I guess.
Yeah, but even then we have to decide which one, like, we want to put, like, where do we want to distribute that, right?
Yeah.
How many? Okay, whatever. I'm trying to do math in my head, but I don't have to do that right now. I think we should let's find the next one, which is Necromancer. Here we go. Page 22. You want to read this one off?
The Necromancer practices the dark arts left behind by the Crypt Lord, raising the dead and using them as servants. Many Syrians lived through the Crypt Lord's campaign of terror and still harbor deep distrust of the undead and their masters. Our starting weapon is Tome. I'm sure that'll come up in the weapons section.
I'm gonna do a book.
Um,
I'm gonna tell him it's just a book.
I think it is just a book.
It's a spell book, right?
It's a special book. Yeah, it's a spell book.
It teaches you how to raise the dead. Raising the dead for dummies.
What a informative read, honestly.
Necronomicon for dummies.
That's gotta be a skit somewhere out there on the internet. Somebody's done it. Surely.
Gotta be. Surely.
Our basic abilities for the Necromancer are Death Aura. Any enemies in close range on 1 HP are immediately forced down to 0 HP. Interesting. And Raise Undead. Spend 3 SP to raise a new skeleton, see enemies, in near or close range. On your turn, you can activate one of your skeleton's moves. You may have a maximum of 3 skeletons active.
So the funny thing is, skeletons are also a humanoid monster that was listed under default enemies, so...
Yes, which is actually OP, because that means that you can start every fight with 3 skeletons, and if one of them goes down, you just make another one.
Yep. What's that one meme that's like, good luck, I'm behind 10,000 skeletons, except it's only 6.
I have no idea what you're talking about, I'm sorry. Never seen this meme before in my life.
Oh, sorry, it's 7,000 skeletons, not 10,000.
Classic. That definitely made a difference. I actually do know about that one, though. Oh, okay.
Just edit the image to say 6.
Good luck. I'm behind 6 skeletons. Incredible. Alright.
So that's the Necromancer. We'll get back to the abilities later. Although I do just want to note that the Might ability is called Bone Champion.
Incredible. That's what we call your mom.
But yeah, let's check on Vampire.
I just got every single listener out there. Fuck you guys. Yeah, let's check on the vampire.
Okay, a vampire is a demon who feeds on the life force of others to strengthen themselves as they fight. They are not technically undead, like many of the people summoned from another world seem to assume, and the only one of their traditional weaknesses that works seems to be holy water, blessed by Larnith. Or Lonrith?
Yeah,
Lonrith, yeah. Stakes to the heart work too, but for normal reasons.
But for why you'd expect, yeah.
Our starting weapon is large melee weapon or tome. It just seems incredibly likely that our cat is going to be carrying around a book.
Yeah. Can cats even carry books? Let's find out.
I mean, if they have to, for their character class.
It's true, yeah.
May need help, like, using it, putting it away, etc.
Just imagine, walk into a tavern. Excuse me, could you flip to page 37 of my book, please? It's like, yeah, sure, I got you.
Getting one of your 3 Catgirl servants to open your book for you.
It's like, I'm trying to cast Thunderbolt. Can you open a...
Your 3 Catgirl servants carry the book around for you, and... Alright. The basic abilities of the vampire are Drain, which is when you hit with an attack, you can spend 2 SP to refill lost HP equal to your damage dealt. Or Hypnotic Gaze. Spend 3 SP to force a target to hold eye contact with you. They can't take any moves for the rest of the round. Changing targets ends the effect.
Hypnotic Gaze sounds like an ability that I think an HR interviewer at a job would have.
I mean, that would also just be like the ultimate like Puss in Boots move for the vampire cat.
True. Like, look into my eyes, look at how cute I am. Now I'm gonna murder you.
So, all that said and done, I don't like Black Knight as much as I like Necromancer and Vampire, I think.
Yeah, same. Now, Necromancer is cool.
Right.
Because, skeletons. And you could go the OP route, already having 3 skeletons and then being able to raise more. Or we could go our route, and that is having 3 Catgirl homies there for you, and then also a skeleton, just because.
Good luck, I'm behind 3 Catgirls and a skeleton.
Can't defeat me. Oh man, look, look at these abilities real quick. That might help us make our decision.
Yeah.
So for the Necromancer, I'm assuming we're ruling Black Knight out like completely because that
let's rule it out.
Yeah. So our might ability is Bone Champion. When you cast Raise Undead, spend an additional 2 SP to double the skeleton's health and give them a large melee weapon. You may have one Bone Champion active.
Oh, so you're not the Bone Champion, you just summon the Bone Champion.
Our Mastery ability is a Skeleton Mount. When you cast Raise Undead, you can choose for it to be a horse or other rideable animal. For a cat, that's a lot of animals. That could be like a turtle.
Yeah, I was about to say tortoise.
Yeah. And then our Mischief ability is Zombie Hands. Spend 2 SP to make grabbing undead hands come out from the ground at a point in near range. Enemies in that area must roll a 3+ before they make any move or else be disrupted. Okay.
I'm kind of into the turtle mounts and zombie hands.
Really? The turtle mount, yes, absolutely. Zombie hands is good gameplay-wise.
Bone Champion... You know what? If we're doing the good luck, I'm behind 3 Catgirls and 1 skeleton meme, then that 1 skeleton being the Bone Champion does make sense.
That's true.
So, I apologize, listeners, but anyone playing this character will be summoning your mom.
Oh, man. Do we want to take a look at the vampire, too? Or do we want to go the Bone?
Yeah.
Let's give it one last... Give it a... So, let's see. Our might ability for the vampire is Vampire Resilience Classic. When you are dealt damage, you can refill expended SP equal to half that amount rounded up. Interesting. Mastery ability is Master of the Domain. Spend 3 SP to fill the area with thick fog. You are the only one who can see further than close range. You get your own personal fog machine. This ability is literally just flare. And then bats,
wait, which flare?
Not the one you shoot up in the air, like FLAIR, as in I'm doing this for dramatic effect.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because flare, as in the Final Fantasy spell, is like one of the most powerful spells.
Oh, I hate to break it
to
fun fact. Yeah? Are you about to tell me the Donald Duck fact?
No. I got one better for you.
Okay.
So you know how there's a new Final Fantasy game that just came out?
Yeah, 16, right?
Yep. They introduced another character in it who can do Zeta Flare. And he did it at the end of the fight, which means he expended a lot of magical power, saved that up, and kept going after he cast it.
Incredible.
And not only that, a pair of brothers were able to block it.
Just 2 bros.
Yeah, they did a Dragon Ball Z fusion while in their, god forms, and then blocked a Zeta Flare.
Every time I hear something about Kingdom Hearts, about Final Fantasy, I understand it less.
There's nothing to understand.
That's fair.
You just gotta play it and be taken along for the ride.
I don't know if I like the ride, though.
You'll like the ride. Final Fantasy 16 is basically a dumbed-down Devil May Cry or Bayonetta.
That is fair. Also, you're like the 20th person to try to get me onto the Final Fantasy hype train. I've tried. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough. Who knows?
Which one did you try? Because there's some bad ones.
14. That's the only one I've tried.
So you decided after playing an MMO that you didn't like a series of games that are either turn-based strategy or straight-up action.
Okay, I shouldn't say that I don't like Final Fantasy. I didn't like Final Fantasy 14 as much as I thought I would. But the other ones are daunting to me because there's so many, and how I know where to start.
It literally doesn't matter. They're not connected in any way unless it's like 13-2 or Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core or Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. Those are all obviously tied to Final Fantasy VII.
I'll play Final Fantasy X, and then we'll see.
I actually haven't played Final Fantasy X.
I don't know. I think I watched a friend play it, and I was like, oh,
I know there's 2 of them.
2? How can there be 2 10s?
Yeah, there's Final Fantasy X, then there's Final Fantasy X-2.
I don't like the naming convention. I'm already out again.
There's also Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and 13-3. I don't think I ever played 13-3.
So you haven't finished the series?
Nah.
Well, okay. So there's 30 Final
We
Fantasy
should get back
games.
on track.
Yeah, but there's only one more ability left to read, which is Bat Swarm. Is our mischief ability. When you are dealt damage, you can spend 2 SP to transform into a swarm of bats. You cannot be targeted by attacks until the start of your next turn when you transform back.
Based on our physical size, that's gonna be like 2 bats.
Yeah. At that point, can you really call it a swarm?
Yeah.
Or it's like a bunch of baby bats.
I feel like, looking at these, the ones I like best are the might abilities for either vampire or necromancer, right?
Yeah, same.
Although, with necromancer, the ability to summon those hands, the hands that catch you.
Oh man, I like the zombie hands, but Bone Champion is just so good.
Yeah.
Zombie hands seems like it'd be fun though to use.
From a gameplay perspective, absolutely.
Yes. Do we get these abilities later, or is it only your highest stat?
As far as I can tell, it's based on the highest stat according to character creation. Now, obviously, I haven't read the whole book because I never do. But, so, like, it says under lock in your attributes. Your highest attribute will decide the 3rd class ability you start with. This is a good time to decide how you'll distribute your attribute points. So we get the 2 in the blue box for free, and then we get 1 from the yellow box based on our highest stat.
Okay. Damn, I really like both of them.
Are you ready to rule out vampire, or?
Yeah, I think I am ready to rule out vampire.
Alright, so now we just need to decide between Bone Champion, Skeleton Mount, and Zombie Hands. All incredible abilities.
Yeah, exactly. Do we want to do the I'm behind 3 cat girls and a boat and your mom?
Yeah, okay. When you put it like that. And that's even just that's one of those things that we can just put out on Twitter, no context.
Yeah, that one's gonna do numbers. I'm behind 3 cat girls and your mom.
Still with the picture of the skeleton, but
yes, yeah.
And so next we're gonna want to lock in those stats.
Yes.
Why is Bone Champion significantly bigger than Death Aura or Raise Undead?
I don't know. I think that's just the rest of these boxes for some reason have have a bigger font.
That's interesting. We know we want might to be our best stat, so it needs to be at least 3.
Yeah.
And it can be as high as 6. Actually, there's no, it doesn't look like there's any rule against us just, stacking the deck in our favor.
Uh-huh. What do you mean by that?
Like, we could just do 7 might, 0 mastery, 0 mischief. Nothing's stopping us.
That's true. Do we use mastery or mischief for anything?
Probably. Let's see. No, we spent SP to raise undead. No, we don't do anything to activate Death Aura. That's a passive ability.
Incredible.
Bone Champion is activated via SP. So yeah, there's nothing that requires us to be good at our other 2 stats.
Yeah, I'm looking down here on like the combat section.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mention anything about our stats.
Like, I'm sure there will be situations where we will want mastery and mischief, and we will fail miserably, but
we could do like 5-1-1.
We could. Or the other thing that it says here is 5-2-0, which is another option. So I guess, how do you want to play this? Do you want to be like the most min-maxed necromancer in this world?
You know what? Sure. I really don't think our cat would care about anything else. So having 7 might, I don't think it would matter to this to this character.
He's here to rule.
Yeah, that's it. They are the demon lord.
Who needs to be tactful or, skilled?
Me.
That's what the Catgirl servants are for.
That's what they're for. Number 4. This is our last. I think this is the last thing on our checklist. Yeah. Receive a gift. The goddess Lonrith gives all newcomers a special ability. That there's no space there. I'm calling you out.
That's fine.
Nick Duff. You have a fucking typo in your book. No, it's fine. The goddess Lonrith gives all newcomers a special ability when they are brought to Syria. Roll on the gift table for your highest attribute to see what you've received. Gifts are separate to abilities. Each hero only gets one and cannot lose it or gain others.
Alright, so let's scroll down to gifts, which is on page
28. What is our highest attribute? Let's see. Alright, well...
It's obviously might.
I've got a D6 with me.
Of course.
Should I use the metal D6 or should I use the plastic D6? My metal D6 ones do have like monster teeth on them, as well as blood splatter, which I feel like is pretty fitting for our character.
That sounds like a demon lord die. Yeah, roll that.
We got a 6.
Stomach resistance.
You can eat any object without getting sick. This includes weapons, after which you can make unarmed attacks with any single tag from a weapon you eat. So I think this gift not only I feel like really is OP in this game, but also OP to our show in the fact that it cancels out one of our rules entirely. If it eats something, technically it can use it.
It's part of the class.
It's part of the class.
Fate decided.
And it was random. You cannot be mad at us for this. God.
Alright, now on to weapons, because we do have a tome that we need to at least understand how it's used, probably. Tomes do 3 damage, have are near in range, include spell books with various battle magics. So, is there a slot actually on the character sheet for a weapon? There has to be, right?
No. There's items.
Damn. I hope our weapon counts as an item.
I'm assuming it does?
So, okay, so we have one other option here. We can either have... We still haven't, locked in the Catgirl servant thing. I mean, we have, but we haven't. Like, our cat could use its ability, its special gift, to eat its tome,
okay,
and then not have to worry about... It would probably be better to just get a servant to carry it around for you, right?
I mean, I think it would be very funny if a cat came up and was like, I need a spell for this. Coughs up like a hairball. It's just a book.
I don't know. I think we could just say we've got the tome, and that's fine. Where's tome tags?
Tome tags is 2 pages down, or 3 pages down, on page 33.
Okay.
So we have...
And how do we decide our weapon again? Like, I know we get a tome, but, does it say, what our starting weapon... There's gotta be a thing for that here somewhere. Probably scrolled right past it. Starting weapons do not have any tags, but Okay, so we don't have to worry about that right now. So, we've got a tome that doesn't have spells in it. That's great. Great start for the new Demon Lord. No spells.
Shouldn't it? Okay, hold on. So what's funny is it says that the tome does 3 damage, but
right.
It says includes spell books with various battle magics. So are we to assume there are spells in here, but we can't use them because they're not in the book, aka the game's rulebook, and we have to wait till we get tags? Or is it make your own spell for flavor, and these tags are just added on to it?
I think our cat just hits people with book.
That's exactly what I'm imagining. This cat coughs up the book and it just bonks somebody on the head.
I mean, the funnier option is the cat is incredibly powerful, obviously, with 7 might, but he instead doesn't do any of his own fighting. He just asks other people to do it for him.
I mean, if you were a demon lord, would you really take your own fights yourself?
Depends on how bored I am.
You know what? That's fair. I too would get bored being a demon lord if I was just, sitting up on the throne.
Yeah. So I guess we don't have to worry about that right now. We know that we got a basic tome.
Yep. Those tomes do be here.
And I'm hoping that somewhere in GM advice it tells us how to make a character, or somewhere on page 25 to 26. Or what is it? Give me. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through real all over the place. Yeah, it would be enemies starts on page 25. Basic enemy stat blocks have 3 components: HP, damage, and moves. These are the mob type enemies, although this template can be used to create strong monster threats as well. You can also use these classes to create more complex enemies, building like player characters without gifts or archetypes. Keeping track of SP for complex enemies is a bit much. Instead, give them a shared pool with SP points equal to 5 times the number of enemies. So that must be like, if you're the GM.
Yeah.
Or if you have 3 Catgirl assistants.
Yeah, naturally.
I didn't download this or anything, but I'm just going to go back to itch real quick and see if there is a sheet for like custom mobs. Because if not, we might have to put it in a Word doc.
I could probably fit it in the items section, like a description, and then somebody could take the form fillable and just write it somewhere else themselves.
Are you saying Catgirls are objects?
No, Joel, I would never say that Catgirls are objects. That's not me. I'm just saying that we had space to write it, and it sadly happens to be in the item section.
There is not a enemy template thing as far as I can see here.
Okay.
We will have to make these ourselves.
Gotcha. I can real quick. What are they? So they're Catgirl demons? Question mark.
Yeah.
Demon. Okay. We'll do demon Catgirls. Yeah, I know. I have to abbreviate it, otherwise it's way too long.
So let's see. It looks like most of the ones that we have here, like if we're going with basic mob level power for our Catgirls, most of these, with the exception of Giant Plant Beast, which honestly sounds more like a boss, as well as Corrupted Dragon, most of these have 3 HP. So I think we could say our Catgirls have 3 HP.
I think that's a fair assumption. Now our damage. See, some of these are saying like it depends on what weapons they have. Do we want our Catgirls to have weapons, or are they just going to use
claws?
I was about to say, are they just going to use their claws?
They have claws and teeth. They are strong like lioness. Obviously, they do 1 damage apiece.
Classify as a small melee weapon.
I mean, you can just say they got claws. Then again, that might, if we don't specify it as a small melee weapon, it might count as unarmed. In which case, they do 1 damage, and it only counts as a hit on a 5 to 6.
Oh, only on a 5 to 6?
Yep.
That's kind of tough. I mean, I guess if we do have 3 of them every fight,
yeah,
you technically have higher likelihood of hitting a 5 or a 6.
You got 3 tries.
Yeah, you have 3 tries, which is really good. So okay.
Plus, you always have the Bone Champion to back him up.
And then looks like we get to put 3 moves. Show me your moves.
So I'm kind of looking at some of these. So like one of the moves on the skeleton is just attack the closest opponent.
Another move on the skeleton is follow orders from a superior, which
our Catgirls will already follow our orders.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if we need to put that as a move specifically.
No. I think they could be used for distraction as well.
Yeah, I like that.
So attack the nearest opponent, distract an opponent. What's something else we could have Catgirl do for us?
That's a good question.
Okay, there's something under partner for reincarnated that I think would work here. Perform a daring rescue. Get partner out of any scene.
That's kind of what I was thinking of, like some form of protection.
Like just pick up the cat and run.
Yeah. I like that. Pick up the cat and book it. or tome it, if you will. I'll see myself out.
All right.
Damn, not even
so
a chuckle for that.
We got our 3 moves, and so we can assume that they have a shared pool of SP equal to 5 times. Between the 3 of them, they have 15 SP, I guess is how this works.
I think so, yeah.
Cool. So like 5 apiece, like 15 total or 5 apiece, depending on how things are going.
Okay, cool.
That wasn't too hard.
No, I think is that it?
We haven't named this cat or decided what kind of cat it is.
Yeah.
Not in the character creation steps.
Yeah, not in the steps. They don't tell you to do that. That one's up to your discretion, I guess.
Yeah, you could be a nameless demon lord, I guess.
Damn, the nameless demon lord does actually that's a title and a half right there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But let's actually give our cat a name.
Yeah, is there any name left in the
Hold on, Joel. You said that I wouldn't. You doubted me last episode, and I'm here to make you eat your words because I remembered. I put the reminder on my phone, and here it is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a cat.
Yes.
We have a specific cat we have to make. One moment. Let me go grab that real quick. Because I did set a thing for that, but here's the thing. I set a lot of alarms today because I was out on a freelance job. So
oh, nice.
So I turned off alarms that were going to interfere with that job potentially. So we have, this is Cammy, I guess is her name, if we want a female demon lord. Or we have Tiberius, who, one moment, let me check. Yep. So our descriptions are: Cammy is our eggplant-shaped Torby with a collar as spicy as she is, or Tiberius is the tiniest, most talkative boy with white tootsies. And indeed, if you look at picture of him, he does have little white spots on his toe beans on his paw. One moment. There's a better picture of the paws. Let me to just send that to you real quick. So, do we want to go with a Cammy or do we want to go with a Tiberius?
I'm gonna be honest. I think Tiberius sounds better for a demon lord.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got. That was my whole argument.
Okay. No notes from me.
So you want to go with Tiberius?
Yeah, let's do Tiberius. Why not?
How do you spell that?
Like this.
Oh, okay. I got it in one. Nice.
You got it in one, guys.
For those wondering at home, it is spelled Tiberius.
Like that one guy from that one Netflix show. Crap, what was it called? All I can remember is that there was a guy who's like, he made up a name for himself and it was Tiberius Andromedon. Someone's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Let's hope so, because I have no clue.
It was one of those shows that was made back when Netflix had a good public image.
Ah, classic. Back when they were still sending DVDs through the mail.
Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that was probably still happening.
To be fair, I think Netflix went under a different name at that time.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
I couldn't tell you.
Kibble.
But what?
Yes.
That can't be right. Netflix is Roku?
I guess so. That was their original streaming box. That's incredible. I didn't know that Netflix made Roku. Okay, also, I'm way off. Netflix was not originally called Kibble when I saw their ads on TV, because that was before I was born.
Okay. I know none of this, and I frankly believe none of this.
Yeah.
This is all shocking information to me. Huge if true, though.
I think I was thinking about a different thing that had an old name and then they switched it to something new. I can't remember what I was thinking about though. But I guess Netflix did originally have a different name. And it was a dog food.
Huh.
Is currently.
What do you know? Who would have guessed that Netflix originally sold dog food in the mail as DVDs?
I don't think that's entirely true. But I like where your head's at. Okay. Is that
Imagine putting that on a shirt. I can't believe Netflix originally sold dog food with a picture of our cat from the logo next to it.
Very good. I'm a huge fan of there's so much guy per guy here. Because the second you showed me that image, I lost it for about 5 minutes straight. I'm not even gonna lie. Even if you don't sell that as merch, I will personally buy that shirt. I'll have it made for myself.
For context, I made a fake shirt concept based on a line from not last week, I guess, but the other episode that came out this month from the Overarms episode. There's so much guy per guy here. That joke went on Twitter before the episode came out, so like Austin and I were the only ones who even knew the context.
Yeah, but it's so good. Yeah, so if you guys want exclusive jokes, be sure to follow our Twitter account.
Yeah, you know what? Is it time to get to that conversation?
About us having a Twitter account? Like our show's socials, or about Twitter as a whole?
No, I mean, like, is it time for our housekeeping stuff?
Real quick, we gotta say how many rules we broke, and the only rule was the intended rule of playing as a human. Rules is intended. Say that you're probably playing as a human. We are not. Want. Okay. Typically the only rule we break, and guess what? We done did it.
So, Austin, I'll let you go first.
You know, I'm out here. I am on, regrettably, Twitter still. I'm on Tumblr, which I will move to if the trend for Twitter continues, as we all know it has been. And I'm also still on Twitch. I'm kind of streaming whenever, just, you know, got some time here, got some time there. I'm streaming it. Now, the problem is there's so many games I want to play and beat, and my current list is finish Fallout New Vegas, put in some hours on Slime Rancher 2, which I have been doing on stream as of this recording, finish Spider-Man Miles Morales before Spider-Man 2 comes out, and also play Bomb Rush Cyberpunk when it comes out in a month.
Gonna be busy, guys.
I'm gonna be streaming quite a bit, so just
You might still be working on some of those games when you actually hear this.
No, I will. I will be working on at least 2 of those games probably by the time you guys hear this. But yeah, twitch.tv/Avalon Alchemist, Twitter Avalon Alchemist, Tumblr Avalon Alchemist, and TikTok. I haven't posted over there for a hot minute, but I'm thinking about maybe posting more over there because sometimes it's fun. We'll see though. But with that out of the way, Joel, what have you got? What have you got cooking in the kitchen?
So, as I mentioned earlier, I was on a freelance job the day I was recording this. I am, at the moment at least, still taking, if you have work that you want me to do for you, you could go to kofi.com/denalolioge, and I guess I'm not logged in right now. I was going to go and look those up, but who cares? We'll get there later. Obviously, you can't spell Denalolioge. I can't even say it, so how could you hope to? But the point is, you don't have to worry about all that, because we've got something better. You can go to jholland.start.page, and you'll find links to all my stuff there, including the Ko-fi where you can ask me to make you a thing. Right now, I've got slots for logos, 3D models, and Unreal Engine blueprints, because I'm good at that stuff. Not really working on anything else personally at the moment.
By the way, I can confirm Joel is a fucking wizard when it comes to Unreal Engine blueprints. I've seen his code. It is wild.
There is an entire network-ready multiplayer third-person shooter / golf game to prove that I'm good at Blueprint.
That is true. That game exists, is real, and is playable.
Well,
okay.
Playable at this point in time may be a stretch.
Okay.
It's not connected to Steam anymore because that was only a test server.
Well, it exists. It's out there.
It does exist for the moment. Did have to indefinitely table development on that, unfortunately. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It does happen. To the best of us, even.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's all that's going on with me personally. Now on to the show. You can follow the show on Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. I guess technically co-host, even though I haven't logged into co-host in actual months.
What if we just have like 1,000 followers over there? We just don't know it.
I mean, I could check real quick. Actually, I probably can't because it's gonna make me log in, but logging in will hopefully be fast.
In the meantime, I can talk about these shows' ratings and reviews. We currently have we're still sitting up there at good old 5 stars on Spotify. Be sure to leave us a review there, or leave us a review at on Apple Podcasts, which I believe, Joel, do we have confirmation on that? Or do we have a rating there finally?
Yeah, we have a single 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Or not review, just a rating. As far as I know, we still don't have any, like, actual reviews. I've been checking around Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods. I don't know where else to look. Those are the only places I know to look. And we don't have reviews yet, but we're getting them ratings. We're getting the ratings, and it's in the 2, like, most influential places at the moment. So that's good. It's helpful. We're appreciative of that fact.
Absolutely. Cannot thank y'all enough.
So yeah, we got the ratings. The next thing we gotta push for is the reviews.
Yeah. Don't just show us that you like the show. Tell us why. You know, what makes it good to you, the listener.
And you don't even have to tell us. Tell others.
Yeah, tell others.
That's the important thing.
Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your grandma how great of a show this is. And then post it online.
Yeah. Word of mouth right now, our only form of advertisement, and random shit posts. But, I mean, that doesn't count.
Oh, it counts in my book, Joel.
Okay. Well, counts to Austin. I guess that's all that matters. Let's see. So I got through the social... Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all have heard of Pillow Fort. It's another blogging program, and I have set up a literal cat pod community over there. So if you go to pillowfort.social/community/literalcatpod, y'all can join that. And it's basically like if Facebook groups were in Tumblr format. I have no idea if this site's going to take off or not, but I like its setup, so I made a group just in case.
It's got an interesting... It feels a bit unique while also having some familiarity in terms of how it's laid out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's our socials. So the other thing, as you saw, we took Quinn and Alex Schultz cats, 2 previous guests on this show. They sent us pictures of their cats, and we turned one of them into a character this week. That could be your cat if you emailed pictures of it to literalcatpod@gmail.com. You can also send us game recommendations. You can send us challenges if you want, like, to challenge us to make a space samurai cat or something. We can try and make that happen for you. If you have a specific game you want to play, you can send us that recommendation. If you want to appear on the show, if you've got a game that you want to bring on the show, one that you love, one that you made, reach out to us at that email address, and we'll make it happen, probably.
Yeah, we'll do our best to make it happen. We'll say that.
Yeah, it'll probably happen.
Yeah. We love having guests on. It's always a great time.
We do. Especially when they bring us a game they made.
Oh, yeah. Those have been the most interesting, because not only do you get to check out the new game, you literally have an armchair dev, like, right there being like, oh, yeah, so if you want to do this, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, it's so cool.
You have the master.
Yeah. We don't have to sit there and wonder, man, did they mean for it to be this or this? Like, they just tell us straight up.
And then the character sheets. We made a character sheet this episode, as we do every episode, and we made a supplementary monster for this character. You can find those and every other character sheet we have ever made on a Dropbox folder, which you can access by going to bit.ly/literalcatpod. And what are we forgetting? Ah, yes, I remember what we're forgetting now. Patreon.
Ah, the Patreon.
So progress on it has not progressed, but like Austin and I are making our own RPG. It is we have a name for one of them now. Do you want to just like I know I've joked about this on Twitter in the distant past and Tumblr like a week or two ago as of this recording. But do you want to like we're actually gonna make that one. So it is
Please give us the full name, Joel.
Yeah, okay, 1 second. I gotta pull up the doc to make sure I got this right. The game is called 1 to 3 anime dudes at a truck stop gave me a big sword and asked me to kill God.
God, I'm so excited to make this.
You play it with both a standard 54 card deck and a pool of 4-sided dice.
Don't you mean 52 card deck?
I mean, it'll be 52 if we can't find anything to do with the Jokers.
That's fair. I guess I forgot about the Jokers.
He forgot about the Jokers.
I'm the worst. I'd be a terrible Batman.
Also be a terrible Persona 5 player.
That too. Isn't Joker like the main character though?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to forget about. Right?
He'd be really hard to forget about. But you know who is easy to forget about if you don't think about it for long enough? The pilot from Mass Effect.
Who's the pilot?
His name is also Joker.
I gotta be honest with you, Joel. I played like 5 hours of the first Mass Effect game. That's it.
Yeah, I can understand stopping after that.
Yeah. Literally everybody I've told that to has been like, yeah, no, I get it.
But anyway, so to follow for any hopeful updates about progress on 1 to 3 anime dudes at a truck stop gave me a big sword and asked me to kill God, or any other projects we might come up with, and also to get, bonus content potentially for this show, go to patreon.com/badgertrove. That is our kind of umbrella group or whatever you want to call it that we're putting all our stuff under, including this podcast, is Badger Trove.
Yes.
One of these days I'll actually have the the intro and or outro thing brought to you by Badger Trove based on that mission statement we came up with.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
One day.
One of these days, hopeful.
Yeah. But anyway, so that I think that's all we got to talk about right now.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Yeah, the Patreon, we got some stuff over there for you. Like if you want to join at just like the $2 tier, we got you covered. If that's all you can do, you can access our calendar so you can see like our recording schedule as soon as we know it, or not our recording schedule, our release schedule.
Yeah.
At the very least, which is usually farther in advance than what actually goes out on socials. If you're willing to spend $5, you get early access to our episodes. It's been a while since we've talked about any of this.
Yeah.
At the $10 tier, Austin and I will start doing a bi-monthly, so every other month, a live streamed recording session of how to make a literal cat in your favorite RPG for our $10 patrons, in which you can offer live input, and we will probably take it.
We're very accepting of others' input.
Yeah.
Finally, I'll go ahead and do this last one.
Yeah, that's yours.
It feels weird saying it, but yes, technically. The Badger Royal is our $20 a month tier. It is limited to one person per month. So what you get all the other previous tiers, obviously, and then you'll get a personal commission from me. It'll be simple character artwork, or, it can be like a design of one of the cats we've made. Anything you want. It'll be a small design, and I will give that to you, like, digitally. I'll email it to you or whatnot, whatever you prefer. But slots are limited to one a month currently. So far, it's still open. Nobody has taken it. So if you want that, then go for it. And if you want to check out some of my art, I have posted it on Twitter in the past. I might just do an art dump and pin it up as my pinned post on my Twitter account so that people can come in and check out what kind of art I do. But Yeah.
And if you're going to prep that, we might as well put it on the Patreon too, so that people can see what they're looking at when they're thinking about signing up.
Yeah, we can make that one of our posts.
May as well, right? Anyway, I think, yeah, that's probably all we need to talk about. So with that in mind, we have really only one thing left to do.
It's true. I'll send us off with a short and sweet cat pun. I hope you all have a great day, and remember to stay positive. And, go out there and be happy.
Man, that's putting a lot on him.
Well, try your best to be happy. I'm not telling you have to be. That'd be pretty forceful. Anyways, try to stay positive. There you go.